Hello everyone. In today's video, I will discuss the topic of psychosocial aspects of cancer. Let's see the introduction first. During the diagnosis stage, shock, denial, disbelief, panic, guilt, anger, hostility, loss of control, feeling of alienation, concern for family, fear of pain, mortality, disfigurement, and fear of dying are all common issues and reactions experienced by cancer patient and their families are known as psychosocial aspect of cancer. Means all the emotions and feelings which a patient experienced through cancer treatment or their family experience through the cancer treatment of the patient are known as psychosocial aspects of cancer. Then next is factors related to severity of psychosocial problems. It includes disease, environment, individual. Then next is the 6 fear Ds of psychosocial aspect of cancer. It includes discomfort, dependency, disfigurement, disability, disruption, disengagement, and last one is death. Disfigurement means the action of something which spoils the appearance of something or someone. Then disability, disruption means disturbance or problem that interrupts an event, activity, or process. Then disengagement, it means stoppage of involvement in any activities. So these are the 6 fear Ds of psychosocial aspect of cancer. Then next is psychosocial factors. Psychosocial factors of cancer that includes sexual dysfunction, pelvic surgery, radiotherapy, then body image like colostomy, then relational adjustment, anxiety about bowel incontinence, financial concerns like cost of supplies, then coping with side effects of treatment. These are the psychosocial factors that comes under cancer condition. Then next is psychosocial factors as risk factor for cancer initiation or maintenance. It includes behavioral risk factors, stressful life events, locus of control, and personality factors. Locus of control means believing that a person have control over the outcome of event in his or her life is known as locus of control. And personality factors, coping and adjustment to illness, psychiatric diagnosis, repression of negative emotions. Repression means inhibition of a feeling or inhibition of negative emotions. These are the risk factors for cancer initiation or maintenance. Then next is psychosocial dimensions of cancer in children. What are the psychosocial dimensions which comes under cancer in children? First one is family factors. It includes flexibility of the family attempts to bring normalcy to the adolescent or young adult's life. presence of family cohesion and family adaptability. Then most adolescent cancer survivors diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder also had mothers with post-traumatic stress disorders. These are the family factors which comes under psychosocial dimension of cancer in children. Then psychological or emotional factors. It includes higher intensity of symptoms experienced by older children. Adolescents with cancer demonstrate more coping strategies than typical peers. Old adolescents show greater coping strategies. So these are the psychosocial dimensions of cancer in children. The next is stages triggering distress. What are the stages that triggers distress in a patient who is suffering from cancer? In that, first one is initial investigation, diagnosis, treatments, end of treatment, recurrence, palliative care or bereavement. These are the stages which triggers distress. Then next is impact on sense of identity. Impact of psychosocial aspects on sense of identity of a patient. It includes personality changes, ability to work or function normality, role in family, body image, sexuality. Then last one is fertility. These are the impact on sense of identity of a patient. Then next is mediating factors. Mediating factors includes stage in life cycle, social support, cultural issues, beliefs about illness, personality factors like life event, history of psychological difficulties. These are the mediating factors. Mediating factor means relationship between two variables. Means relationship between psychological and social aspect of cancer. These factors comes under mediating factors of psychosocial aspect of cancer. Then next is adaptation to cancer. It includes adaptation to cancer means process of adapting cancer condition. It includes stimulus for coping with cancer. Then primary appraisal like how threatening is it. Secondary appraisal like is there any option or not. Then coping response, primary coping efficacy like the demands met or not. Secondary efficacy like impact on the mental and physical health. What impacts does occur on the mental and physical health of the patient. These are the adaptation to cancer condition. Then next is factors promoting well-being. What are the factors that can promote well-being of a patient? It includes able to view demand as challenge rather than treat or loss. Then belief in own ability to do something about situation, ability to define priorities, setting the goals and solve problems. These are the factors which promote well-being of a cancer patient. Then next is patient-centered approach. In this, physician tries to enter the patient's world to see the illness through the patient's eyes. It includes care, in which C denotes cope with illness or bad news. Then A denotes active participation in self-care. Then R denotes responsibility, self-esteem, confidence. And the last one, E denotes the empower patient's own decision making. These are the four patient-centered approach for cancer condition. Then next is Fostering hope is a balancing act. Fostering hope means encouraging the development of something. Means encouragement of hope is a balancing act. It includes spikes, in which S denotes spike means there are 6-step protocols, in which S denotes setting, means set the stage. Then P denotes perception, what does the patient know. I denotes invitation, how much does the patient want to know. And K denotes knowledge, means sharing the information. E denotes emotion, respond to feelings, means response to the feelings of patient. Then subsequent, S denotes subsequent, plan next steps and follow up. These are the fostering hope process of the patient. Then next is issues of uncertainty. What are the issues which can cause uncertainty? In that, there are questions and guidelines. Question includes like patient can ask, can I be treated, can I be cured, or what are the side effects of treatments, or will it come back. Then in guidelines, knowledge, uncertainty, empathy, be honest about what cannot be answered, be aware of distancing techniques, discuss what would help them deal with the uncertainty. Questions can be asked by the patient, and guidelines are for nurses or the healthcare workers. Then next is the dreaded questions which can be asked by the patient, like is it cancer, am I dying, or how long have I got, how will I die, what happens after I die, or like how do I tell, or like how will they cope without me. These kind of dreaded questions can be asked by the patient as a psychosocial aspect. Then fears include fear of being blamed, fear of the knowledge or untaught, fear of unleashing a reaction, fear of expressing emotion, fear of not knowing the answer, and the last one is fear of illness, of death. Then next is others. It includes desire to shield or protect the patient, personal issues, triggers, complex family dynamics, or insufficient time. Then next is distancing techniques. It means depersonalizing the situation under discussion. The distancing techniques includes avoiding the patient, not asking about the emotions, ignoring clues, premature reassurances, giving advice, focusing on the positive aspects of treatment, playing down side effects, or giving false hope. These are the distancing techniques which is used in the psychosocial aspect of cancer. Then next is importance of answering difficult questions. What are the importance of answering the difficult question to the patient? It includes maintain trust. To maintain trust, reduce uncertainty, prevent inappropriate hope, allow appropriate adjustment, or prevent conspiracy. These are some important points of answering the difficult questions to the patient. Then responding to questions, Check why the patient or relatives is asking this particular question. Explore what they already know. Check whether they want further information. Encourage expression of feeling and concern or their worries. Then acknowledge difficulty of living with uncertainty. Then next is, if you don't know the answer, be honest with the patient and their family. Help patient decide how they could get the desired information. Then if feasible, then offer to liaise with relevant professionals to obtain answer with extensional or highly emotive questions. Help patients to find their own answers. These are some steps which should be taken if a health caregiver or nurse doesn't know the answer. Then next is denial. Denial means rejection. Recognize importance of denial or rejection as a coping mechanism. Only challenge denial if it creates serious problems for patient or relatives. If a patient's denial or rejection process creates serious problems, then the health caregiver or nurse should challenge the condition of denial. Then next is communication. Elicit core issues for the patient, their fears and worries. By communication, the health caregiver or nurse should try to find out the fears and worries of the patient, then elicit beliefs about illness based on patient's knowledge and predictions. Provide information on clinical challenges faced. Then explore strategies and options by communication with the patient. Then focus on what can change, means what can be changed. We should focus on the possibilities. Then help establish clear goals. By communication we can establish clear goals. Then communication helps patients access the informational, practical, social and emotional support they need. Through communication we can help the patients to access informational, practical and social and emotional support which they need. So this was all about psychosocial aspect of cancer. That is it for today. Thanks for watching.